Fiona is Vanny, and I'm tired of pretending that she isn't.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Hiya, my name is Poke King, but you can just call me King, and today, today I am being insane. No, but for real, today I'm deciding to finally post a new FNAF theory I've been thinking about since Secret of the Mimic has come out, and this theory is, well, it's something. Before we begin, yes, the shirt I am wearing does have Markiplier kissing a bag of milk on it, but listen, I couldn't wear my other outfit because I feel like I'd have to keep reminding everybody that my eyes are up here, so this is what I'm wearing. Let's just move on from it, okay? I'm a cow demon VTuber, okay? It's weird, I'm weird, we're all weird, it's fine, it's fine. If you have watched any of my Secret of the Mimic streams, you might have heard me talk about this before, and have probably also heard me say the words Fiona is Vanny. And if you have heard me say those words before, you've probably considered sending a wellness check to my house, but the reality of it is that as time has gone on and I've stewed on this theory and more information has come to light, the more I actually truly believe that this could be a possibility. Now, before we begin, a few disclaimers. I'm not here to claim that my theory is fact. I will admit that there are a lot of reaches in logic here, but at the same time, too much stuff has been lining up that I can't just not throw this out into existence. Now, I did, in true King fashion, post about this on the Game Theory subreddit, and while I did get some attention on there, I know that making videos on my theories is actually the way to go for me, considering how many folks my last theory video reached on YouTube. And I'll be honest, the last theory I had way more reaching than this one does, in my opinion, so I'm kind of excited for it. By the way, thank you for all of the love and support that everybody has given my last FNAF theory video. I am very, very happy that you guys did not bully me into the stratosphere. So thank you for that. And the last little disclaimer here is that firstly, in order to properly understand this theory, you're going to have at least a basic knowledge of the Mimic storyline and know the current story and lore as it stands from the Secret of the Mimic game, as well as both Help Wanted VR games, including the Curse of Dreadbear DLC and Security Breach and the Ruin DLC as well. I'll be going over some stuff to set the stage, but I won't recap the entire story, so having some knowledge of those events will definitely help you follow along with this video. With that being said, there are going to be some spoilers for all of those games, so here is your official spoiler warning. But without further ado, let me explain why I think Fiona is Vanny and specifically what that means, because oh boy, is it so much more than just those three words. I'm honestly not really sure where I want to start with this theory, but I'm gonna give you a very basic overview of what specifically this theory is and then go from there. I believe that Fiona Murray is the first iteration of Vanny, who made the Vanny mask originally, as we first see it in the Help Wanted VR Curse of Dreadbear DLC, and also that David Murray is actually William Afton's biological son. Now. Stay with me here. Let me explain. The first thing that really drew my attention to this is the Curse of Dreadbear DLC in the Help Wanted VR game. In that DLC, everyone kind of thought it was weird that we saw these streamers and signs that stated that this DLC takes place in an event called Fall Fest, which we have seen be a reoccurring event within the games that came after the Dreadbear DLC, very specifically in Secret of the Mimic. Within the Dreadbear DLC, we can get a secret ending in the Foxy Corn Maze game where we can find the Vanny mask hidden away in a cellar in the middle of the corn maze, along with a bunch of ripped up Fall Fest signs. The mask we find here is not the same mask that Vanessa wears as Vanny in Security Breach. It's similar, but not the same, and is missing a lot of key details. A lot of people came to the conclusion that it must just be a redesign, however, it seems as though it isn't, because the mask we get in Ruin and the mask we are using in Help Wanted VR 2 are the same as the one that is in the Dreadbear DLC, and it hasn't been changed or retconned at all to better suit the Vanny design from Security Breach. It's purposely different. And the one in Ruin and also Help Wanted VR 2 are different from the Dreadbear DLC one, as well as those also have technology within them that causes you to enter the AR world, among other things. The mask we find in the cellar is handmade, hand-stitched, and old, and clearly designed by someone with some sense of animal character design, sewing, and mask making. I believe that Fiona made this original Vanny mask that we see in the Dreadbear DLC, which is present at Fall Fest, which Fiona herself also has ties to, as this is where she died within the Secret of the Mimic game. We see that Fiona designed many of the original characters for Fazbear, like Chica, Foxy, Roxy, and many others, which we learn through the audio logs. She makes the Roxy and Foxy puppets by hand, shown in the tapes for David's birthdays, where she makes him a puppet. In Moon.exe, Sun, who we have concluded is Fiona or a representation of her, is making masks of Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica. So there are a lot of things that point to Fiona being able to make something like this original Vanny mask we see. But why would Fiona have made this mask? Well, this brings me to the next big section of this theory. David Murray, who we are to assume is Fiona Murray and Edwin Murray's son, is actually William Afton's biological son. Within the story of Secret of the Mimic, Fiona and Edwin had a rocky relationship for majority of the game, with audio logs explaining that Edwin buried himself in his work and Fiona was unhappy, along with the videotape of her telling Edwin to come down for David's party and him staying upstairs to work on his stuff.
Edwin! Ed! Get out here! You're missing it!
Just give me a minute. I had the best idea.
Okay,
This is
well,
it. This is the one. Bigger than the Cleanovac.
that's great, honey, but you're missing the party.
There is even a cut audio log with text dialogue found by Tetrabit Gaming where Fiona says that she's tired of arguing with Edwin and she's going to Fall Fest.
Where things don't seem to be going so well between Fiona and Edwin. Here, Fiona would say, "Ed, I really don't want to leave things like this. I don't want to argue anymore. I made my decision and I have to go, just for a few days until the installation is finished. Don't be mad. We'll talk more when I'm back next week."
I know that this is cut audio, so we can't really confirm if this is canon or if it was supposed to be in the game, but I still wanted to bring it up anyways. All of this is just pointing towards her and Edwin having a rocky marriage to begin with. It is my theory that Fiona had an affair with William Afton and David is actually William Afton's son and not Edwin's. We already know that Edwin says William took literally everything from him, so why not his wife as well? And we already know that William is good with persuading people in this series too, as he's done it multiple times. It may seem a little far-fetched, but it also could be the case. This could explain why David Murray and Dave or David Afton have basically the same name and could explain why William wanted the Mimic software back so badly after MCM was shut down, which we know he knows about M2's details fully because in an audio log, Edwin says that someone told him about M2.
Someone told them about M2. Well, they can't have it.
Forget about immortality. M2 was William Afton's biological son being reborn as a robot. Actually, scratch that. Remember immortality again, because this would also give us some answers dating back to Sister Location and Immortal and the Restless. The entire narrative of that show is about a purple man, William Afton, denying that he fathered a child that is very clearly his, and it ends with the house on the top of the hill being burned down, which could be William or Edwin's house, as it's highly speculated that it's the same house. Clara is even introduced to be Vlad's distressed mistress in the opening of this cartoon. She is never referred to as his wife or anything like that. She's referred to as his mistress. Also, although Clara had blonde hair, the style of the hair and the waves of it look like Fiona's hair in the basic shapes, and the curl to the one side is even the same too. I know there were stories about one of the Afton kids being adopted, but having David Murray actually be William Afton's biological son would fit the story of Immortal and the Restless a lot better. And of course, he would have to deny that this is his kid if he was having an affair with his business partner's wife. There was also a line of dialogue near the end of Secret of the Mimic where Fiona, as M1, says she misses Edwin, but she misses her son more.
I miss you, but I miss my child more.
It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but she doesn't say our son, she says her son. And she's talking to Edwin in this situation. We can even look at some design choices for William's other kids and David Murray. Elizabeth's eye color has always played some kind of prominent role in the character design here, and Elizabeth has green eyes, and Michael has blue eyes, while David has one blue and one green eye. Both Edwin and Fiona have blue eyes, and I know that this isn't how heterochromia works in real life, but from a strictly design perspective, having the third Afton kid have one eye of each color from his siblings is a pretty interesting way to tie them all together. Hell, if we wanted to look at more design stuff, Fiona is actually wearing purple in her portrait here as well, and one of her defining character design traits is her front teeth, which are slightly bigger than the rest of her other teeth, and there's a bit of a gap between them, which resembles the Vanny mask itself. Unlike Glitch Traps, for example, that showcases all of his teeth along with the classic bunny teeth. The Vanny mask only has these two longer front teeth. Keeping all of this information in mind, let's go back to Fall Fest and the Vanny mask in particular. I believe that Fiona made the Vanny mask and partnered up with William to lure and kill kids back in the Fall Fest days. It's clear from many games like Help Wanted 1 and 2 that Fall Fest is something that Fazbear was associated with, and by extension, William was as well. If William had fallen in love with Fiona, it is possible that they could have entered in some kind of Harley Quinn and Joker style relationship and began killing children at these events together. There has been multiple theories about how William has always had some kind of sidekick helping him in his killing sprees, and this could answer that question. Also, there is another popular theory going around saying that M1 Fiona was actually the one who killed David Murray in The Secret of the Mimic game, as M1 Fiona was the last person or thing to see him before he died, which is essentially explained on the tape where M1 is revealed to be mimicking Fiona. It's also shown in Moon.exe that she essentially cooks the baby owl, which is a representation of David, in a boiling pot and kills him. Some theories suggest this is because M1 calculated that in order for M2 to work, David had to pass away, similar to what happened to Fiona. Or it is possible that in learning who Fiona truly was, M1 reverted to a state where it knew Fiona killed children before and killed David in that moment. As for the Vanny mask we find in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, Fiona tells Edwin that she has to go help the Fall Fest crew.
I have to go help the Fall Fest crew, just for a few days until the installation is finished.
When she is actually going to go help William Afton with his killings. She goes to Fall Fest and ends up tragically dying in a fire, and her Vanny mask is left behind and eventually stored away, haunted by the tragic events of her own actions and her agony, thus creating this Vanny persona living within the mask itself, waiting for someone else to find it and put it on. And when they do, they become split in two, the Vanny mask controlling them to aid Afton in his murders once more. Now, does this theory have some holes in it? Sure, but what FNAF theory doesn't? I just think that this is an interesting take on the story, and the more I researched it, the more stuff ended up falling into place better and better, and I knew I just had to put this out into the world. I'm really hoping that we get some Secret of the Mimic DLC that takes place at Fall Fest, or actually shed some lights on the event that took place there so we can finally understand the pieces of that puzzle fully. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you think that William and Fiona were cheating, lying sons of bitches? Do you think that it's possible that David Murray is William's biological son and that Fiona was the creator of the original Vanny mask? Or do you think that I've finally lost my shit? Remember to always leave a like if you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, do all of those silly little things to help support my channel, as I try to post videos as often as I can, and I also try to stream at least 2 to 3 times a week as well. Thanks for sticking around for my ramblings. Hopefully I will make another FNAF theory video in the future. I still don't know what the fuck Midnight Motorist is about. If you have watched my drunk FNAF lore recap video, which I will put somewhere on the screen right now, you will see how much I hate Midnight Motorist as a whole, so maybe one day I'll try to actually tackle it and fully understand what that game was trying to tell us. Anyways, I do hope that you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!